WNBA finals. And so I'll leave it there. I mean, I'm just obviously disheartened. I'm a human too. I have a family. I have 2 kids who are devastated by these comments. And so all I'll say is just, it's obviously...
The WNBA is sitting on a powder keg right now. And the fuse hasn't just been lit. It's burning dangerously close to the explosive. For decades, this league fought for relevance. It asked for attention, pushed for revenue, and demanded respect from the broader sports world. It wanted a transcendent superstar, someone who could sell out arenas and dominate television screens in a way no one ever had before. Then that superstar arrived. Caitlin Clark didn't just bring fans. She brought a tidal wave of money, media coverage, and cultural relevance unlike anything the league had experienced in nearly 30 years. But beneath this golden surge lies something darker. Instead of a celebration, her arrival has exposed deep fractures within the league. Hard fouls on the court, visible tension in locker rooms, PR missteps in executive offices. What should have been a renaissance is beginning to resemble a civil war. And insiders suggest the situation has escalated beyond routine growing pains. This is no longer about rough play or social media noise. It's about a billion-dollar asset and a brand that executives fear could suffer irreversible damage if mismanaged. Reports indicate that Commissioner Kathy Engelbert has been pulled into emergency meetings following public controversies and escalating friction with the players' union. The conversation has shifted. It's no longer about expanding the game. It's about preventing the league from destabilizing itself. To understand why the tension feels so urgent, you have to understand the money. For years, the WNBA operated at financial losses, supported in large part by the NBA. Attendance was inconsistent. Viewership was modest. The business model was fragile. Then came what many call the Clark effect. Ticket prices in opposing arenas surged. Games that once struggled to fill lower bowls were suddenly selling out entirely. Charter flights, long debated as a player demand, became immediate necessities due to increased crowds and security concerns. The league secured a media rights deal reportedly worth over $2 billion, a number unimaginable just a few seasons ago. And everyone understands a significant portion of that valuation is tied to one player's drawing power. Remove Clark from the equation, and viewership drops sharply. That reality creates leverage and pressure. The league needs her visibility, her production, and her marketability to justify the scale of corporate investment from major networks and sponsors. But relying so heavily on one figure creates vulnerability. If that player feels unsupported or targeted, the entire structure becomes unstable. Executives aren't just reviewing game tape, they're analyzing risk models. If injuries occur or public perception shifts negatively, the financial engine sputters. Meanwhile, in locker rooms, tensions have simmered. The public narrative suggested veterans would welcome the spotlight. In theory, growth benefits everyone. But professional sports are deeply personal ecosystems. When a rookie becomes the face of the league overnight, emotions can surface. Physical play intensified. Verbal criticism surfaced in media interviews. Comments from respected veterans like Cheryl Swoops and Diana Taurasi questioning how the rookie would adapt were framed by some as competitive realism, by others as dismissive undertones. On the court, physicality drew national attention. To longtime fans, it was playoff-level intensity. To new viewers, it sometimes appeared excessive. In billion-dollar businesses, perception shapes reality. And perception began shifting toward instability rather than unity. The pivotal moment came during Engelbert's appearance on CNBC. The interview was meant to highlight growth and corporate momentum. Instead, a question about rivalry and online toxicity created controversy. Engelbert referenced historical rivalries like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, emphasizing how competition fuels ratings. While historically accurate, critics argue the response failed to directly condemn the harmful online behavior some players were experiencing. The backlash was swift. The Women's National Basketball Players Association, led by Terry Jackson, released a statement expressing disappointment. This wasn't just PR turbulence, it signaled strain between league leadership and player representation. behind closed doors, discussions reportedly expanded beyond public messaging to officiating standards. Some observers believed referees allowed heightened physicality to let rookies adjust. Others argued it reflected standard competitive intensity. Regardless, league officials reportedly debated whether game presentation needed recalibration to appeal to new audiences seeking pace and skill over constant contact. Protecting stars without appearing to favor them is a delicate balance every major league faces. Expansion plans further complicate matters. New franchises in markets like Toronto, Portland, and the Bay Area reflect confidence in long-term growth. But expansion fees are based on projected momentum. Investors assume sustained demand. If controversy overshadows performance, that projection weakens. Sponsors also monitor brand climate closely. Companies invest in empowerment narratives, not dysfunction. Stability becomes essential. Owners, many of whom endured years of losses, now see profitability within reach, and fear missteps could jeopardize it. Then there's the broader business reality: player empowerment. Modern athletes across leagues have demonstrated willingness to leverage influence. While Clark remains under contract and focused on competition, executives understand the importance of satisfaction, security, and partnership. Travel accommodations, safety measures, and marketing alignment are no longer optional considerations. They are strategic necessities. All of this unfolds with a collective bargaining agreement on the horizon. Revenue growth strengthens the player's negotiating position. Owners, however, recognize that current revenue surges are closely tied to sustained public interest. A lockout or strike at this moment would be catastrophic. The silence of team owners publicly contrasts with reported urgency privately. They want stability. They want professionalism. They want momentum preserved. Engelbert finds herself balancing union expectations, veteran pride, sponsor optics, and explosive growth, all simultaneously. The WNBA is experiencing both its most prosperous and most precarious chapter. Rapid growth has exposed structural weaknesses. The league is building infrastructure in real time while flying at altitude. The emergency meetings reflect not collapse, but recalibration. The question is not whether the league can grow, it already has. The question is whether it can professionalize its culture and stabilize its ecosystem quickly enough to sustain that growth. The next several months will shape the trajectory of women's basketball for years. The spotlight is brighter than ever. Now comes the challenge of managing it.